ऑफर लगाओ।
मैं घर पैसे सिर्फ एलाइड एक्सप्रेस सर्विस से भेजता हूँ।
एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
Redmi 9C पूरे पाकिस्तान में दस्तयाब।
Xiaomi 25 मिलीलीटर टेट्रा पैक में दस्तयाब है।
5 मिनट में be the better man you are and look the part.
iBase International।
अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेंट स्टील बार, घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
Stay fresh flavored milk, दूध with an attitude.
A total of 380 matches played in the top flight during 2020-2021 season, with clubs battling for the title, European qualification and trying to avoid relegation. With teams such as Manchester City, Chelsea and Manchester United hopeful of challenging at the top, can Liverpool hold on to the title? Tough task to maintain the sort of standards and momentum Liverpool have gathered in winning the Champions League and the title in the last 2 seasons. But this is a team without any obvious weaknesses, an array of world-class players in the key positions. It is also tough to retain the Premier League. There shall be so many trying to bring them down. English Premier League 2020 to 2021, live and exclusive on PTV Sports.
Total Combat, the weekly show that brings together the very best of combat sports, the key disciplines, the biggest events, the bouts that count. The weekly update with fight previews, results, news, developments, and insights.
Look at my face for crying out loud. You know what this guy can do?
I am the baddest man on the planet.
Featuring all forms of combat sports. The one-stop MMA and fight sports weekly.
I love a true fight. Elbows, knees, shin bone.
Look at me. In perfect shape.
You know what I'm like. I'm a fighter, man.
The one program fight fans have been screaming for. Total Combat.
In South Africa, from the city of Cape Town and Paarl, in a biosecure bubble, 3 T20 internationals, 3 one-day internationals. The one-day international is part of the ICC Cricket World Cup Super League 2020 to 22. Quinton de Kock shall be captaining South Africa. England will be led by Ian Milne. The best combination: Tamba Bavuma, Junior Ducker, Faf du Plessis, Vaughan Fortin, Ulan Hendricks, scored by Reza Hendricks.
T20, one-day, test matches. I think good experience this tournament.
Hope you have a good one. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, we really hope that he has a good game because he's an exciting player and we've seen him in Sri Lankan colours over the years and he will want to perform in today's match. Now, Mickey Atta, just a little bit on T20 cricket itself. Yeah. When you're building a T20 side, is it a case in your instance that you have a template for a T20 team, or do you share the philosophy that a T20 team should be built on the available players that you have in front of you?
Yeah, I think the key is building a brand. What's going to be successful in the conditions that you're going to play in, and you play in all conditions, but you play in some conditions more, obviously, home. So you build a brand, then you get the personnel that fits around that. Very clear role clarity, that's important. And then I always say, you give the players the roots to grow and the wings to fly. You just back them in and let them play to their ability.
And in terms of the evolution of the game itself, we've seen teams now average 200 when they bat first. The middle overs now is not a lull period in the game. They go very attacking. Is that something that you subscribe to?
Definitely, because that's what the trends of the game is going to say. So you need to keep going, and you need your players to perform their roles to the max.
Well, we're counting down for this one. This contest will prove to be exciting. We hope that you stay with us and enjoy the action that we have in store for you.
करोड़ों फैंस खेलेंगे।
दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2021। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2021। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 20। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 20। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हम दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 20। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 20। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020। दोस्तों, मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों, सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 20।
Lanka Premier League 2020. Win together.
Okay, here we go for match number 10. It's going to be a beauty. Dambulla Viking versus the Kandy Tuskers. Now, this is a clash between the teams that are sitting 3 and 4 at the moment. The Viking are sitting 3, the Tuskers are sitting 4. Here's a look at what happened at the toss. And the Kandy Tuskers won the toss and elected to bat first. And I'll tell you what's an interesting stat right at the very beginning of this game is this the first night game for the Dambulla Viking. So this is going to be a brand new experience for them as we have a look at the sides. The Viking on the left, the Kandy Tuskers on the right. Now the Tuskers have got no changes, so that's good for them. They're feeling nice and solid. They're going to have a change next game because Dale Staines going to be in that lineup, which is going to certainly improve them. And as for the Viking, there's 2 changes for the Viking side. Dambulla, Viking, Turunga and Sterling are out. In Shenwari and also Mendes. So there's 2 changes for Dambulla Viking. Here come the umpires. They are going to be making sure they're staying safe, sanitised and also sane. That's important for the umpires out in the middle. Rashan Abasinger is alongside me. Hello, Rashan.
Hello, Hazy. Good evening to everybody. Wherever you are, whatever time zone, it's going to be another really good game. We did see that in the last game, the Japanese Stallion batted so well, chasing things down.
दोस्तों मैच का टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020.
On the other hand, double Viking, they played 3 and 1-2. So, Kandy Tuskers quite keen to try and get those wins under their belt to increase. They may feel a little bit safe because the Gaul Gladiators haven't started winning as yet. But then they're at 4, Gladiators at 5. So that contest at the moment is a little bit tight. I don't think the Kandy Tuskers would want to keep it that way. They would rather just maintain a good lead over the Gladiators if they can.
A bit of a breeze around the place, as you can see, even on the cup, which someone's going to get their mitts on in a couple of weeks' time. And obviously the Viking side will be very, very keen to start well. There's the captain. Dasun Chanika right at the front. And he's not worried at all, he said, about bowling under the night conditions, bowling when there's a little bit of dew on the grass. He said they've done it before, so this is something that they're used to and they'll just do it again.
He's been very impressive, Dasun.
I think the thing I like about the thing I like about the Kandy Tuskers is they've settled to a winning combination, and the 2 changes that have been made to the Dambulla Viking side have been made with their sort of brand in mind, and their brand that worked for them in the last game was spin. So we see Shinwari and we see Ramesh Mendes coming in for them to enhance that spinning ability.
It is quite interesting. When I was out there doing the toss, a couple of the players were actually asking me if the previous game had any turn, was the ball gripping at all? And my answer was no, because it wasn't considerably. I mean, we had games before on the other side of the square where it was certainly turning a bit and stopping and gripping, but the first game we had tonight, it was coming on reasonably well. It wasn't a quick track, we know that, but it was fine. But it wasn't really assisting the spinners enormously.
So we got the Dambulla Viking coming out, and that side looks much better now. They look far more organized. It's a more balanced unit. Don't forget that second game they played, they came second by a big distance. I've been impressed with Dasun Chanaka's captains. He's led from the front. They're players who generally thrive with responsibility. Dasun Chanaka looks one of them. Tisara Pereira seemed to be enjoying that extra load on himself. The Sri Lankan captains, if you really look at particularly the test ones, in the past, the likes of Javardhana, Sangakkara, they have just enjoyed that extra load. They have carried on and been great success stories. So sometimes that load and captaincy tends to get the best out of a player.
Just a slight little delay. Gulbaz, the opening batsman, has just got something in his eye, so he's just making sure that's okay before he actually comes out. And Bats looks like he's okay now, which is good news. So the helmet's going on. Strap under the chin. Yep, here we go. He's okay now. He's a talented player. He's a youngster, we know that. We saw him play really well with 53 in the first game of this tournament, but his shot selection since then hasn't been the best, but he will know that. He's a smart cricketer.
Well, the strike rates in the power plays, Gurbaz almost right up there. Well, Russell has 300 in the strike rate in the power play, and Gurbaz's strike rate in the power play is almost 200, 196. And then Kusal Pereira quite a distance behind, 134. And that tells you that they carry a lot of power and quick scoring, this pair of batsmen, and they can be very effective in those 6 overs.
Yeah, he's going to be dangerous if he gets going, that's for sure. So he's one of the boys that's going to be starting proceedings for the Kandy Tuskers. And there's the skipper, Kusal Pereira. There's the other one. He's an extremely talented cricketer, this man. He played one of the finest knocks you will ever see. In fact, it was voted one of the finest knocks ever in Test cricket. 153 not out against South Africa in Durban to win that Test. Anwar Ali. And start proceedings. I like this man. He's a real competitor. I also like someone right at the start when they're bowling. It doesn't matter who they are, and Dale Stone will be watching this, and he's one of those guys who does this as well. He takes responsibility to set the tone right at the start. Here's the countdown. Plays the call. Here we go. Finding inside the circle. There is a slip in position. Of course, it's a power play of 6 overs where only 2 players are allowed outside the circle. One's at deep square leg and one's at third man. Oh, it's fine. Third man won't get there. That's 4 first up.
We talk about tone. First ball goes for a 4. Immediately Kandy Tuskers on the front foot. Even though Anwar Ali hit his length, outside edge there of the bat of Gurbaz flies away past third man for 4.
It's a really tough call for the bowlers, isn't it? You bowl good deliveries and you still go for runs. That's the way this game is played. And that's the reason why you should keep sticking to your plans irrespective of what the result is.
So the new ball was skid on a little bit more. Gives the batsman an opportunity to use the pace of the bowler on the bat and just glide it away like Gurbaz did with the first shot that was played for a boundary.
One thing that leagues like this will teach the young Sri Lankans is to stay calm when they bowl. Looking at some of the top players in the world, they don't appear to be ruffled at all despite the runs they concede. You could just see that they know exactly what they're doing. They got a set plan, they got the feel right, and they don't mind being taken apart by just sticking to that.
Just going to go through a couple of bowling drills here shortly. Rashan. It's down the ground, quick single, side the stumps, single taken, no dramas. Ali's a little disappointed with that, but he'll now just take a couple of deep breaths.
The 2 standing umpires, Lyndon Hannibal. And he's at the head umpire's position. And his partner today is Mr. Kotachi, Rohita Kotachi. Well, we got a few brothers. We got brothers refereeing, Maxwell and Wendell. Sorry, beg your pardon, Graham and Wendell Radroy, and the Kotachi brothers standing, part of the umpires panel.
Beautifully bowled. That is perfect. So just back to the bowlers. The last thing you want to be is your mind going a little bit crazy when you're bowling. You want to be nice and calm. Now his expression is good. He will take his time going back. He'll be thinking about where he needs to bowl to Pereira. He will have spoken to his captain. He probably would have controlled the discussions about where he wants his field to be with the captain. At the top of his mark, he'll probably just pause a little bit, gather his thoughts, and slow their gait now to his speed. It's so important to do this. Just a quick little check to make sure everything's okay. Again, just reset. Probably look to bowl exactly that same line. Oh, it's a lovely drive on the up. He's hammered that through the covers for 4. That's a beautiful shot. Almost took out that trolley.
Yeah, that's a great shot from Kusal Janath. A little bit of width allowed him to free his arms. That's coming straight into his area. Look at this, just a little bit of width there from Anwar Ali. Great shot, great weight transfer all there from Kusal Janath. Very happy with that. He'll be looking, he's been out 3 times, caught out at deep square leg. There is a deep square leg out there for him. He'll be keen not to get out there again.
Great following from our buggy camera out there at extra cover. So 9 off the first over. There it is. Staying nice and busy up there. Leg side slower ball. So that's good thinking. Didn't want to go any further. Didn't want to concede a boundary of the last ball. So 10 from it. 10 for none.
True connection changes.
दोस्तों मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020।
Quick look at the teams again. If you're just joining us, the Tuskers are unchanged. The Viking, Dambulla Viking, have made 2 changes. Mendes and Shinwaria are in the lineup. Gabaz and Pereira are the 2 opening batsmen. Kushal Mendes is someone who has played well so far without really kicking in. Shan Navasingh is going to be down there shortly doing that exercise for us.
That's Lahiru Kumara getting ready to bowl rapid in South Africa in the test team for us.
Yeah, I know you've kept your eye on this guy. Dragged away. There is protection out there. It is going to be the single only. It looks like Pereira is teeing off tonight.
See, the Tuskers have been quite good in the power plays. Their average have been 67, which is very good. In the last few games, we did see that those score in the power plays have dipped a little bit. But they got a real power-hitting pair of batsmen. Gurbaz have been brilliant. We told you his strike rate in the power plays. Almost 200.
Thank you.
Well, Gurbaz, very versatile. He seemed to score runs everywhere, but appears to like that area behind the wickets on the leg side. Mid-off, he has not been too fond of.
That's good running.
And a great length there from Kasunrajita. Tall bowler, stands the ball up, bowls it with a really good seam, looks to swing it out. He's hit a good length tonight and just quick enough as well. Has a good bouncer, Hayes.
So if he swings it out, that'll be perfect against bowling to Gabaz, because if you look at that area that Rashan was talking about, 39% between square leg and behind, and then also on the leg side mid-wicket, that's almost 50% of his runs there. So that's his chief scoring area. There we go. And also straight through the mid-on region.
Basically lots of runs on the leg side. He's got a few on the off, but generally love the leg side.
Brendan Taylor.
That's a change-up. The previous delivery was 138. He's dropped that pace by considerable margin. Remember Kasunrajita making his debut against India in T20 cricket, and he was very impressive. That's the change-up. Took a lot of pace off the ball.
It's a well-controlled slower ball. Just roll the fingers down the side of the ball. And again, that's very good. Now that's something that if you're learning to bowl a slower ball, Mickey, I'll leave this to you. That's something that maybe the younger kids will be more comfortable doing rather than back of the hand.
Yeah, definitely. He bowls this one particularly well, and he spends hours and hours practicing this. This is something that he's developed in his game. He knows, though, bowling to Kusal Janeth Pereira, that pace off the ball here is the way to go. Kusal loves the ball coming onto the bat.
Mid-off, mid-on, or at the edge of the circle, too. Once one, direct hit will be interesting. Nope. Ali doesn't shy.
When you look at the range of deliveries that fast bowlers have developed, the variety, the slow bouncer, and now the slower balls seem to be one of those real strong weapons that they carry in their armory, and it's not an easy ball to master because the way they deliver it with different grips. Now that last delivery was back of the hand. It's so important that they land it in that right place, because the price they'll have to pay if they err is huge.
It's an outstanding over so far. Just 3 from it. Oh, that's gone just over the top of middle stump. That is brilliant stuff. That really is a magnificent second over. 13 for none.
मेरी टीम खेल रही है और आपकी माय 11।
दोस्तों मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020। दोस्तों मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020। दोस्तों मैच के टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें। दोस्तों सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 20।
As a look at the broadcast partners, wherever you might be tuning in and enjoying this broadcast. Sony throughout India, Bangladesh of course, Afghanistan, include TV watching this obviously, Pakistan, USA and Willow TV, and there's our digital partners as well. No doubt you're having a ball watching this cricket. Lanka Premier League 2020, it really is a lot of fun and there's some serious talent on show. Nicely played, just the single.
I can tell you, Hazy, that there's a lot of interest around the world. Lots of Sri Lankan expats watching this. USA, UK, Europe, Australia, they stream live. So it's brilliant for its first year. The interest levels and the numbers, it's truly magnificent and most encouraging. And all that could happen to this is just to get better as the tournament progresses. Spoken about the challenges the year one had. Hopefully by year two, they would have sorted out most of them.
I think this has been terrific so far. Still got a long way to go. And it's been some really entertaining stuff, and that's what T20 cricket's all about. Whipped that away. That's one of his favourite shots, and he's picked up 6 runs. That's the area. Really nicely played by Gabaz.
Yeah, that's it. That's into his strength, as we saw on the pitch. Maybe 39% of his runs behind square on the leg side, and that's why, because of shots like that.
He loves those area. Goes there, goes over mid wicket. Just saw it early, knew exactly, had a very good presence of mind, knowing that the short fine leg was inside the circle. So the risk factor was almost minimal.
It was almost a case of having to get a boundary in the first couple of balls of this over after the previous over being so good and only going for 3. The call is 2, but no, change of mind, just 1.
He's looked a good player, and the one thing that's really impressed me is the quality of the Afghanistan cricketers coming through in all franchise competitions around the world. I know Lance Klusner, head coach, and H.D. Ackerman, batting coach, are really excited by the talent that they have in Afghanistan, and these guys are looking really good. But in the short form, they're going to be tough to beat in conditions that suit them. They're going to be very exciting as a team.
They keep producing some outstanding spinners. Rashid Khan, the first one, was just extraordinary.
Beautifully bowled. That is terrific. Outstanding change of speed.
It's good. I mean, on the point of the Afghan cricketers, just going back to the change of speed of Anwar Ali, I could see that he was looking to roll with his fingers, get some purchase, some turn. Considering the facilities they had at the start, well, the dimensions, just reconfirming the dimensions, it's a 70-yard boundary. And I remember Kabir Khan, the former Pakistani international, when he started coaching Afghanistan, for short and down the leg side, and all he did was just help it on its way, short fine leg inside the circle. So just a little help, and in the gap,
I think when you've got a track like this and the ball's coming on nicely like this new ball is, and you've got a player like Pereira, the margin of error is so small. He's an aggressive player. He likes to pick you off as best he possibly can. He's played a couple of wonderful drives for extra cover. Anything that's slightly offline is just going to disappear, much to Ali's disappointment.
Yeah, I think they've got their plans right to him because they wanted to take pace off, and they've done that and done that pretty effectively. Every time they've bowled a ball with pace on, it's gone to the boundary.
You can see that there's a little bit of protection on the leg side. It's clubbed that. Beautiful shot. Clubbed straight down the ground for 4. That has also now developed into a big over. 16 runs from it. A 6-second ball and a couple of boundaries to finish. 29 for none.
डिसीजन पेंडिंग है पर तुम्हारा
मैच का टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें दोस्तों। सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020। दोस्तों मैच का टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें दोस्तों। सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 2020। दोस्तों मैच का टॉस प्रेडिक्शन और ड्रीम 11 टीम के लिए हमारा टेलीग्राम चैनल ज्वाइन करना बिल्कुल भी ना भूलें दोस्तों। सर्च कीजिए बिग बैश 20।
Was really impressive. Farm Patan did his hamstring early in this tournament, but it wasn't that bad. That was a report the next morning. And they said he wouldn't be too far away from actually playing again. So he'll be a massive addition once he does get back, because he's got the cricketing brain to work with the guys in the change room as well. Slow delivery. There is a man out there. Is he going to take the catch? No, on the bounce. So the second over went for only 3 runs from Rajita. Let's have a look at the variations of speed. The first couple were normal, then suddenly things changed. 104, 100 k's per hour, pace off. This is really intelligent stuff. And some of the slow balls are not that difficult to bowl, so that's also good, and also something I think that's sensible. Takes a lot of work to get that one out of the back of the hand, right?
So Kandy Tuskers getting off to a very good start, and they're averaging almost 10 runs and over. We told you their average score in the power plays, which is over 60. And Kasun Rajitha initially sat out of the Dambulla Viking team. Good to see him back and bowling well.
Just a bit leg side. It's going to be a leg by, I think. A little bit of a knee lift coming up for the umpire.
Very impressive bowling here from Kasun Rajitha. Bowled with good pace. He's varied his pace, as the graphic showed. And that one giving Kusal Janath Pereira no room at all. Coming back into his body. He's bowled a lot at Kusal Janath in the nets. He knows his strength. He's executing very, very well here tonight, Kasun Rajitha.
Again, there's protection on the leg side. For Gabaz, 2 men back, a man at deep backward square and a man at cow corner. Single, slow delivery, no real damage.
He's understanding the situation, really doing what is required of him. Impressed with the way he mixes up the pace. Looking to take a lot of pace off Gurbaz, a lot of pace when he's bowling to Gurbaz. And even with Kusal, the lengths and lines he's bowled. We know how strong he is. Square of the wicket, the pickup shot is just not allowed him anything. We've spoken about how much they bowl, play each other in the net. So this is a very good opportunity to put all those into practice and just try and find out how effective you could be.
Didn't get all of that. You probably heard the little yell from Pereira. I just want to mention also here this work that Rajita's doing. Just think about this for a little bit. For people who just sit back in their chair and watch a T20 game and just watch it unfold, that's fine. Just want to be entertained, that's fine. But if you want to dig a little bit deeper, this is a very mental game these days. If you're a seamer and you're playing in a 4-day game or a test match, You're generally bowling a good length ball at pace. You might bowl the odd slower ball, but you're generally bowling that, or you might be bowling a bouncer. In this format, you've probably got to perfect probably 4 or 5 different deliveries. That's how challenging this is. That's high. Is it going to be taken, though? That's the question. Oh, it's an outstanding catch. That is an outstanding catch. It's an early call as well, and that is a big, big wicket. Good stuff, Rajita.
Believe that's young Kulamage, who played in that last game, the right arm leg spinner. Again, it was going away from him. He had to come around. I think he's all right. Maybe a